in the first one, she said that it's the work that in Mexico we want to be together to face the challenge of the stony coral tissues loose disease. So, and I love the slides that she made for this collaborations. Since the first sites of stony coral tissue loose disease in Mexico, a strong collaborating approach has been used. We are several groups with limited resource, but with different geographic areas and capacities that can be joined together in order to achieve more impact. Academia, NGOs, government, and community groups were involved in the first monitoring and treatment trails. Funds from different participant groups were put to the task, taking from other projects or adding stony coral tissue loose disease into the objectives, but not the most viable options, but effective nonetheless to react quickly and be able to go on the field and exchange with one another. We have organized meetings, workshops, and also used a lot of social media and progress coverage. Relaying between all the organizations, we were able to increase our reach quickly. The action plan that we talked before. One of the main products of those early collaborations was being the Mexican Action Plan. It includes representatives from 10 marine protected areas and more than 47 organizations that all came together to build that document during several workshops that were facilitated by a dedicated team that made sure that all it was aligned with the different organization work plans, so resources and capacities were available or findable, was action-oriented, and has leaders for following up in order to make it more viable for it to be implemented. A very important point is that at the beginning of the project, a dedicated coordinator was appointed to the action plan, and that helped a lot of meetings, several of targets. When no one is in charge of following or touching base with one another, it becomes really difficult to maintain engagement and track the progress. Now, part of this action plan includes a gene bank where INAPESCA, where I work, was the leading organization to see this objective, and this was greatly inspired by the program in the US, but needed to be adapted to our local realities, as we don't have the same budgets or infrastructures. And join forces. Based on experience available in our states, and Melina said, which is quite a lot actually, we designed a project that will involve three main objectives: rescue fragments of colonies of most susceptible species that we were losing, as Dendrogira cylindrus, produce new colonies through sexual reproduction, and cryopreservate gametes from future restoration. We fortunately got funded by Marfond for 2 successive grants of around $20,000 US each one. And that's how private sector, government, and NGO, and academia got on board the same project. The team at INAPESCA and Xcaret were mainly involved in the fragments and colonies rescue in their facilities, while UNAM Corallium Lab will be focused on sexual reproduction and cryopreservation of gametes. All these align with each of the participate know-how and individual objectives. Healthy Reefs Initiative play a coordinating role, a good one, very good one, taking advantage on their many years of building collaboration and networks through the MIR, producing external communication material in order to reach a wide audience and receive reports of sightings and widespread of the work done by the partners. Using the external network and social network, but also following up on progress, impact indicators, etc., and being the link between the partners and with the funding organization, producing the technical and financial reports, which alleviate weight on the field and labs themes. Amigos de Isla Contoy provide their administrative platforms. And this is one of the other very beautiful infographies. And this is how they managed to safeguard 58 colonies from the most affected species in the facilities at INAPESCA and the aquarium of Xcaret. They go through a strict quarantine process and then integrate either special isolation tanks with more controlled condition if their health requires it, or in the mesocosm, the big one that I showed you before, where they are held in more diverse conditions with sun, herbivorous crabs. Some of the fragments have been reintroduced, and in water nursery where stony coral tissue disease has not been observed. At the UNAM, at the Corallium Laboratory, thanks to the team of Dr. Ania Barnasak and support from SICOR International, the gametes of 5 of the most affected species have been collected and cryopreserved for future investigation and sexual reproduction restoration programs, including some sperm of Dendrogira cylindrus collected from a happy rescue colony in INAPESCA, the video that I showed you before. These more than 400 vials are kept at I think it's the temperature, I don't know this number, and can wait very long period of time to be used. That is the cryopreservation results. Now, this one is the other that I showed you before, and with the participation of everybody, we success in implementing an innovate collaborating project that, thanks to its several lines of action, has been able to cover several flanks in facing the challenge of stony coral tissue disease in coral restoration. It has to be noted that each partner dedicates a good amount of its own resource, time, salaries, and maintain expenses, for example, that they require more funds than the ones granted by the project and came from other projects, donors, etc. And again, creativity, sharing capacities, and strong commitment has gone along the way. The last one, lesson learned. This may seem easy now, but it sure has been a learning curve. Facing such difficult challenge represented by stony coral tissue disease in our line of work is most of the time overwhelming, and teaming up might be the only solution. But it has its own challenge as government, private sector, academia, and NGOs most of the time have different approaches, different administrative requirements, and are not used to speak to each other that much. Keeping open and transparent between all members, the channel of communication is of utmost importance. Meeting regularly and creating exchange space to present and share the team's update strengthens the engagement. Unforeseen events will happen, like hurricane or pandemic. So have a simple plan with realistic objectives that will enable you to adapt quickly, using each partner's strength without adding more weight or one or another or new undominate process will have a great impact. Collaboration can be tricky. So if one of the partners can be in charge of the coordination, reporting, and administration, it will easy process. And that was the job from Melina Soto that she does great. And don't forget to celebrate even the smallest success and have fun whenever you can. And the last beautiful slide.
Thank you so much.